Oh, we have Brazella. We have Brazella. Oh my god, I just realized that. Oh man. The problem is, like, we don't have anything to reanimate. Today on Commander Replay, we try to flip some legendaries off the top with Djeru and Hazoret and see if we can get this Brazella assembled. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's two great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below. Welcome back everyone, playing some Djeru and Hazoret today. Let's take a look at this opener. I've been looking at it for a second. 2 lands and Scroll Rack. I'm gonna try it. It could backfire. It could really backfire. Hopefully it doesn't. If we could draw a land off the top, get to 3, I'd feel a little better, especially if it's a white. We need a white land. Then hopefully we can Scroll Rack into some things that matter, and then we can cast Djeru at some point, and then just pull these things off the top. That would all be very exciting. You know, we got 3 Boros decks in this game. This should be interesting. And a Ghalta and Mavren, the Dino Riders of Magic cards. Archangel Avacyn is not a land. Play the mountain. This is risky because if there's no lands in the top with Scroll Rack and we put these back, like, we're just doomed, basically. And that's a really bad feeling. Anyway, got a new commander out of March of the Machine, Djeru and Hazoret. Let's take a read. 5 mana for a 5/4. As long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, it has Vigilance and Haste. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may exile a legendary creature from among them, put the rest on the bottom. Until end of turn, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So it's got shades of Winota to it for legendary creatures. That's a Marsh Flats. That is a huge pickup. Huge pickup. Because now we can shuffle if things start to look bad here. So we'll play the Scroll Rack. We'll save the Marsh Flats for next turn. Then we'll, in all likelihood, we'll activate the Scroll Rack, put a few things back, and see if we can get to some more value-y bits. Maybe things a little lower on the curve. Maybe we hang on to Gisela. Gisela is something to do. Authority of the Consoles, no. Oh, God, that's gonna be not great for our deck. That's gonna be not great for a lot of people's decks. So, 3 Boros decks at the table, and Ghalta and Mavren is also a reasonably aggressive commander. I don't actually know everything that it does, but it wants to be attacking, so having it come in tapped is brutal. I have absolutely been schooling people with Blind Obedience over the past month, and Authority of the Consoles, very similar. We have an Urabrask in our deck. We could get that and then also lock opponent down with tapped and put everyone in slow motion. That'd be fun. Be like playing a Kismet. Is Kismet opponents only, or is it all players? I can't remember now. It's been a long time since I played it. Somber Walt Sage is a very powerful Magic card. Yeah, multi-mana dorks are really scary. There's a Karlach. Karlach is very strong. Let us activate the Scroll Rack. Putting back Archangel Avacyn, Karlach, Mirog. I kind of want to keep... Yeah, I'll put Alina back also. Alright, what's the order going to be here? Ooh, no lands. Alright, well, I guess that means that we are going to have to crack the fetch. So the order's not really going to matter. We did catch a Dowsing Dagger, though. That's actually a decent pickup. Glad we saved the Gisela. Sad we lost all of our legendaries right there, but hopefully we can wheel our way into more here with the thingy. Get a Plateau. Play a Dowsing Dagger. This is a token deck. We probably don't want to give them the tokens. Also a token deck. Also a token deck. I guess we just give them to 7 Deadly. Yeah, Scroll Racks can be dangerous in the situation we just kind of got into. Now, these cards are much more playable and much more value-y than what we had. We kind of had like a lot of the finishers in that last hand, so that's a thing. Scroll Rack gets much better if you have a land tax, which we don't at this moment. For a while, that was like kind of a quote-unquote draw in Boros. Use land tax with Scroll Rack. Now, that is like, that's a combo, and, you know, no one else needed combos to draw cards really back then. Maybe red decks. Well, red still had wheels, but, you know, everyone else had just had like some singular card that would draw you cards, where having to put 2 cards together just to be able to draw is pretty brutal. I never really latched on to that combo all that much for that reason, because Scroll Rack, like, it does get awkward like this. Like, it's a decent card, but without, like, you need a lot of fetches, you need land tax to go with it. It's like, by itself, it's not the best. If you build around it to support it, it can be much better. But for that reason, in most decks, it doesn't really carry its weight just as like a value we spot. If you're a deck that cares about the top of your library, then it makes sense. We care about the top of our library, so of course. That's a Forge and Frontier. I'm a little jealous. Opponent plays a Lifecrafter's Bestiary and taps a Somberwald Sage. That is so much mana. Into the Goreclaw. Thank God for a land. That is pretty good news, actually. Play that land. Play Gisela. Ooh, this Gisela's big enough to activate the Bonder's Enclave, which is good news. She comes in tapped. Opponent gains life. So anyway, yeah, the theme of this deck is just legendary creatures. A few people have asked me whether I think this could go in an Aurelia deck. I think you have to be built around it to really want to use it. A lot of my Aurelia builds don't have that many legendary creatures in them. You could, right? Like, it's going to be good in combat decks. I do think that this is more of a build around me type card. And I guess we can take a peek at the deck list while I'm talking about it. So here's the deck list. I skipped a lot of the quote-unquote boring stuff. You can put an Avacyn right here. She will wreck face. You can put a bunch of Eldrazi up there. They will wreck face. You can put an Atali right here. Atali will win you the game. I skipped all that stuff because, like, I know that stuff can win the game. And, you know, based on how we kind of play in the channel here, like, holding back a little is the name of the day. So what I decided to go with is the Akroma and Odric combo, trying to assemble that and just like spread all the keywords across our creatures and make them giant and do that whole thing, because Akroma's also really good with extra combats. Our commander's really good with extra combats, so I think we have 3 legendary creatures that generate extra combats. I would love to get a 4th. I did cut Waves of Aggression just to get down to 100. I had to cut a lot of things. I wanted to get a lot of the battles into the deck. I only ended up getting like maybe 2 in because I had to cut a bunch of them. I strangely ended up with like a lot of non-creatures in the deck. I had about 33 creatures at one point. Was really kind of hoping to stay around 30. Ended up at 25. Honestly, I would say you probably want to be around 27 or 28 just to avoid whiffs and stuff like that. Soul Warden. There's our Urbrask, by the way. If we want to put everyone else in slow motion. Ghalta and Mavren coming in. Gross. 7 mana, 12/12, huh? Is that where we're at these days? With trample and abilities. God. The power creep. 7 mana. And I'm guessing that was their way of, like, capturing Ghalta's cost reduction. Let's just make it really cheap. Because also, like, they probably couldn't really fit more text on that card. That text is already really small. So I'm guessing that's how they decided to handle that. That is undercosted. Goreclaw going on the attack. Opponent's gonna do some stuff. They're gonna pump the thing. Does it say whenever you attack? Whenever you attack. Oh my god. Make X white vampires with lifelink, where X is the what? Number of attacking creatures. Oh my god. I want to shoot that Authority to the consoles, but like, we might need it for a little bit. I don't know. We'll probably shoot it eventually, but like, we got some things we got to do with our mana. Also getting into territory that we're going to need a board wipe, because this is incredibly threatening. Opponent's gonna throw the plants in front. Yeah, why not? Soak up that damage. Yeah, land tax would be super good to pick up right now. Because we have the Scroll Rack combo, we have Hazoret's Monument. That's a lot of like extra value we can get if we have lands every turn to pitch. Opponent has feelings. They're going to Chaos Warp the Ghalta. That's probably a pretty good idea. Looks like they get a land out of it. Okay, that is much, much safer. But they probably aren't that far away from recasting it again because of the stupid Somberwald Sage. And the fact that they just hit a land. Flamekin Village. We hit another land. Love it. Don't have an elemental in hand, but that's okay. I feel okay about that Flamekin Village. Let us put the Dowsing Dagger on our commander. Not commander. On this Gisela. Let's attack with the Gisela. We'll hit into Annihilator, who is doing green stuff, and is... Their big threat has been neutered, but I think it's going to be right back this coming turn, so... Let's get a poke in over there, shall we? And we hit. Transform the Dowsing Dagger. We can just get our commander right here. I think that's what I want to do. Yeah, let's do that, because then next turn we can start setting up the scroll racks, and we can get some value that way. There's double red. Then we'll go white from here. Cast Djeru and Hazoret. It comes in tapped. Play the Flamekin Village. No elementals. Okay, we're doing all right. We're set up for next turn. Potentially get some value going. The real question is, I wanted to get some scry into the deck. I really wanted to get a crystal ball in here so you can kind of have like some idea of what's coming. Sensei's Divining Top's probably better, but you don't get to run crystal ball all that often. It's a little clunky, but it can be fun. Thought Vessel. For crystal ball to be good, you need someone to play a board wipe, and that hasn't happened. So opponent's gonna draw with the War Room. Yep. We should probably draw with our Bonders Enclave next turn. Neyali, Sun's Vanguard, coming in. Yeah. Should probably introduce opponents, by the way. First up is 7 Deadly Sins piloting Quintorius, Loremaster, 5 mana 3/5, Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, exile target non-creature, non-land from your graveyard. Create a 3/2 red-white spirit creature token. Pay 3, tap it. Sacrifice a spirit. Choose target card exiled with Quintorius. You may cast that card this turn without paying its mana cost. If that spell will be put into the graveyard, put it at the bottom of its owner's library instead. Really interesting. I still haven't figured out exactly what you do with that yet, but I'm sure there's some cool things you can get up to. Yep, Ghalta and Mavren coming back with excess mana. No big deal. And they draw the card, because of course. Yeah, a little attack coming our way. We got a Goreclaw coming our way, and the 1/1's going over to 7 Deadly. Ghalta and Mavren are going to trigger. They're going with the Dinosaur this time, greatest power of attacking creatures. Yeah, that's a 4/4. That is some stuff. Down to 38. Opponent's also at 38. Sylvan Library. Like, I want to put this Urabrask back on top, but I'm also worried that we need something bigger than Urabrask. A land is a decent pickup. Want to keep hitting those land drops. Let's activate the Bonders Enclave. Another land. Okay, that gives us a few things to do. Let's go to let's get the Hazoret's Monument in. Well, we won't cast it till after, I guess, so. Yeah, okay, let's go to combat. Oh, do I want to be wide open to this thing? No, not really. Not really. You know what? Goreclaw pumps itself, doesn't it? It's doing only 4 toughness. Gisela can actually hold off Goreclaw, and this the Dinosaur will get bigger. We'll attack into Annihilator with this thing and leave the Gisela back. Trigger on the stack. We'll activate Scroll Rack for 1. Putting Urabrask on top. Getting a new card, which is Shajiri's Shelter. We get to do the thing. Only Urabrask in there. Okay, that worked out. Choose this. Urabrask goes to exile. Did put our Teferi's Protection to the bottom. Would have been helpful. We're gonna play the Hazoret's Monument. We're gonna play this land. Do we loot that mountain? Hazoret's, I think I'm gonna loot the mountain. Bruna, well, we can put Bruna on top. Also, if a board wipe goes off, Bruna is gonna be helpful to have here, because we're getting into board wipe territory with all this stuff. Does this thing have lifelink? No, thank God, but still very nasty. Yeah, pass like that. Hope for the best. Elish Norn. Well, that'll clean up a lot of the tokens. Fortunately, doesn't kill anything of ours. Does make everything much smaller, and I feel like that benefits the Ghalta a lot because it's still a 10/10. It does make things awkward for Goreclaw, though, so that's interesting. Okay, yeah, that Norn does cut them down a little bit. It is gonna stop a lot of damage, I think. It makes our Gisela a little bit more profitable because Goreclaw can't pump up a bunch of stuff now, so yeah, maybe that's working out. And it does come in tap, so it does leave them open because we've got Urabrask now, so all the tap effects in play, everything going to be in slow motion. Love it. I really want to shoot that Authority with our Lauren, but I'm also thinking the green card draw is probably going to have to go. This card is really powerful late in the game if someone has a lot of lands, and they're getting to that point. I don't think they've missed a land drop yet. Looks like they're on 6 on turn 6, so yeah, you got to be careful with that. This one, I mean, they're at 36 life, so they can still draw with it. It is powerful, right? But one of the things I've learned is if you can cut down people's card draw, that is where you buy yourself chances to do stuff. Swinging over to Annihilator, yep. In the middle, by the way, we've got Jenka Tamar piloting Neyali Sun's Vanguard. This is a commander that Kristen is really hot on. And it's a 4-mana 3/3. Attacking tokens you control have double strike. Yeah, that part's good. And whenever one or more tokens you control attack a player, exile the top card of your library. During any turn you attacked with a token, you may play that card. So card advantage and double strike for your tokens. It's a token deck. At this point, they've been kind of holding back. Here's a Forge and Frontier trigger. Let's see what they do with that. Response Resurgence and Generous Gift is pretty awkward. I would love to see him fire that Generous Gift at not one of our things. I'm sure they were probably looking for lands. Yeah, Forge of Frontier. Awkward early, good late. That's sort of the MO with that card. 2 Praetors? Oh yeah, we got an Elesh Norn and an Urbraz, 2 OG Praetors. When I started building this deck, I initially had all 3 Urbrazks and all 3 Elesh Norns. I had to cut a couple of them because I needed to get the deck down to size. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you... Because you'd also shoot the Elesh Norn. Elesh Norn is probably really bad for this token deck. Bad for token decks in general, so... I do wonder if they have to shoot that Norn, which is helping a little bit over here. Shoots the Norn, yeah. As a token deck, they kind of have to. Vigilance is going to be a pretty big deal in this game. I want to hold this, obviously, because... Oh, we have Brazella. We have Brazella! Oh my god, I just realized that. Oh, man. The problem is, like, we don't have anything to reanimate. Huh. Although, we haven't seen the board wipe yet. Although, I feel like we may have seen it already if someone had it. Though, the green deck is drawing a lot, so you gotta be careful with that. Field of the Dead, oh no. Yeah, we have Brazella. The problem is going to be not rushing it out too soon, because we can't protect it. And there's not a lot of reanimation in this deck. I think this is about it. So we want to be very diligent about how we use this. I did pack this in here. I'm like, oh, we could also assemble Brazella. That'll be fun. Inspiring Leader. Commander creatures you own. Creature tokens have +2/+2. Ugh, God. Yep. Yep. It's looking bad. Arcane Signet. Everything over to 7 Deadly. Funny enough, 7 Deadly's taken a few punches, but the authority of the consoles has... they're still at 40 right now, but this one they'll definitely feel. Wouldn't mind finding our comeuppance. Love keeping that one on the back burner. Brazella, 9/10 first strike. Can't quite block that. God, that's gonna hurt. Wow, down to 7. Oh my god. Board wipe off the Soul Ring is okay. I guess we do that, play the Soul Ring. Draw with the Bonder's Enclave. Lately, more card advantage, not with this thing around, though. Yeah, having something that big is just terrifying. Well, here's the thing. How much damage do we have? We have 13 damage. There's 3 more damage. 16. Plus 5 is 21. We only need to find 4 damage. Lelia... Oh, we might be able to find 4 damage. Lelia Boots is 3 damage. Opponent's got 3 mana up. That's scary. Almost think about Lauren the Arcane Signet. We would have to shoot this thing to do it. Oh, man. Talking about difference of... Yeah, I think that's the plan. Hazoret's Monument. I think we're just going to leave everything. We're going to shoot the Authority. We're going to cast Lelia. Hazoret's Monument. I think we're going blind off the top right here. Do we send everything? Oh, man. So we put them... Yeah, just send it. This could backfire terribly. We'll go Djeru on the bottom, Lelia on the top. We're going blind, so we don't really know what's there. Yep, that's what I was worried about. That's basically game. Probably should have shot the Mana Rock. Although, I might be able to get a blocker in with this thing. Oh no, not the comeuppance! Yeah, that's impulse effects and timing spells is... Bad times. Bad times. Those are cards. Mirog probably gets us attacked. Thalia gives us more first strike, which I'm not opposed to, but it's probably got to be Mirog. Find out who's got spot removal. Ew, you know what I just noticed? We can cast Mirog, Hazoret's Monument. Because I think we're going to need blockers, I am going to try to get some extra value here. Crack this fetch. Get, I guess, Mistveil Plains. The team untaps. I know we could drop everyone else, but we can't handle this. We're going to hit Jenka a little bit just to get another trigger here. Probably draw a card with this. Ugh, whiff. Yeah, I'm running a little light on legendary creatures. 2 to 3 more would be ideal. That is unfortunate. All the value he bits, though. Opponent takes a little poke. At least we're untapped. We are way less exposed than we were before, where we were just wide open. And, I mean, this is like nearly player lethal. By the next dinosaur that they make, probably will be. Gilded Lotus. Primal Amulet. Ooh, this doesn't look like a strong enough play. Boros Signet. Ew. They took the turn to ramp. This was not the turn to ramp. That turn was several turns ago. This is the turn where you got to be... Well, I guess they're phased out. Yeah. Still, they're just not well defended at all. Red and green, huh? We have a couple white blockers. We'll actually have a lot of damage in the air once we cast this. Deadly said they're super flooded. Our last opponent, by the way, is Annihilator 7 piloting Ghalta and Mavren, and they've been doing green-white things. It's a very undercosted commander. 7 mana, 12/12, trample. Whenever you attack, choose one. Make a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur where X with trample, where X is the greatest power among attacking creatures, other attacking creatures. Or make X 1/1 white vampire tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. That is probably a little too much value and like a little too much flexibility. Like being able to choose between those. Opponent goes no attacks. Yeah, this is actually a decent blocker against some of this nonsense. Notably, this is a land if we need it. I need to remember that. Let's see how bad this turn's going to get. Lauren is a human of note. I feel like everything over here is trample. Yep, it's not great. Oh, we need archetype of aggression. Anti-trample. I've never quite lived the dream. I need to like run that against someone who's playing green and have that day where just all the trample goes away. Chump block everything. Field the Dead active now. Yeah, I mean the goal is we're going to have to really hit them hard in the air. Actually with the landfall, the attack in the air is lethal. Should be anyway. That's 9. They'll get +1 from that, so it'll be 11. Yeah, 2 attacks in the air would be... And then it would be, what, 13 on the second one? Oh, I think they're at 1. So something else will have to get through, but they're probably also going to turn everything sideways here, although... Sort of lifelink somewhere. Everything our way. Lovely. Mega Dinosaur. Oh my god, it's a 10/10. Is that also coming our way? Yep. Okay. What doesn't have trample? God, I hope they don't have tricks. If they have tricks, we're in trouble. They're tapped out again, though. So, like, if we survive... Okay, run this one against Goreclaw. 9/9, oh my god. Oh, the commander's going over to 7 deadly. How much is this? It's 12 plus 9. So that's 20 plus 12 is 22. That's still a lot. Oh, pray nothing happens to Morag here. We're in trouble if it does. Think we can get away with that as long as nothing crazy shows up here. Opponent's gonna block. We'll let Jenka draw. We could draw 7 deadly because they're about to die. But Jenka's been over there doing not much. Looking for help. If we get multiple triggers with Morag, even one trigger with Morag, that's a lot of Lauren activations, which we need. This card, Lauren, is so good. Ooh, that's the land. That is the landfall. We got to remember to play that in the second main, not mess it up. Grand Crescendo. Create 3 citizen creature tokens. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. They all come in tapped. That's fine. That's actually, that's reasonably deadly with Neyali. Goreclaw goes down. We gain that life. Nice. And that should take trample away from a bunch of stuff for the following turns. 7 deadly goes down. See what the follow-up is. Down to 14 for us. That's pretty low with this thing on the loose. Ooh, farewell. No Brazella for us. It's not great, but I guess it could be worse. They left the graveyards intact. Back to the command zone. I think we can just haste our commander back. Oh, I was excited about Brazella. On the other hand, it's good we didn't just rush it out there, because it'd be dead. And by dead, even worse, it'd be exiled. Opponent cycles a migration pet. They cast it or cycle it? Nope. They cast it. Yeah, I guess that's what they had to do, because they know that they die to us. So that's where the Morag is tricky, because they can, if they see the Morag, well, if they don't see the Morag, then they may not do that, because they were like, oh, he doesn't have lethal yet. But with the Morag, you can just kind of see lethal. Makokoro is a land. Let's play the Makokoro, cast our commander. Let's use this one. Cast our commander. Let's get the boots in. We want to trade our commander into the 2/2s? Not really. Which means we gotta attack Jenka. As long as we hit here, we should rebuild decently well. If we whiff, it's gonna be not great. We have whiffed. Wow. 2 whiffs. I think the only hits we've had have been with Scroll Rack. Though I guess if we have to whiff, now is probably the time. Like whiffing next turn is almost certain death, although we still really could have used something right here. Jenka goes down to 28. Skrellov's Hive. Loyal Apprentice. Good token makers there. See how bad this turn from the green deck is going to get. They lost some mana with Somberwald Sage going down. I don't actually know if they can recast their commander. They might be able to, though. They have 11 mana. Yeah, they're probably on Xaxes. This should probably be 8 mana. 7 is too cheap. Or it could just be smaller. I get that it loses flavor if it's smaller, so you probably just need to bump the casting cost. Sylvan Library. They pay some life. Is relevant. The lower we can get them, just got to get them into Bruno range. Maybe find another flyer along the way. Yep, Ghalta coming back. And this time it's going to come in untapped, which is unfortunate. Can't really attack into it. Tokens coming our way. Not great. And they'll make a dinosaur. God, it's a 6/6? Also, wow. Yeah, this card's busted. I don't even know how we survive another turn. Wow, that kills us? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Because they're 4/4. Wow. Yeah, not thrilled about that. Yeah, this thing is busted in half. It is just way too strong. And granted, there wasn't like nearly enough removal this game, which is also the problem. We got our comeuppance exiled, right? That's the luck of the draw. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Jenka just scoops, I guess. Doesn't have anything. Opponent had austere command. Oh god, yeah, just all the green. And people wonder why I don't like green. That's why. As far as the deck, we were doing just fine in the game, just that Ghalta is way undercosted. Like, it was in play too soon, and no one played removal. Like, a Blasphemous Act has got to get down sooner in that game, and then everything's fine. We were also set up to have lethal. They had the Teferi's protection. That's actually what we lost to. We lost the Teferi's protection. Because if they don't have that there, they go to what? 10 life or something like that, and then everyone else probably tries to find a way to take them down. I mean, the other thing too is the 2 whiffs. If we didn't whiff right there on that last one, we'd have a blocker, right? We could block at least one of the tokens and survive. So the 2 whiffs coming back to bite. 25 creatures, yeah, isn't quite what I wanted. Definitely wanted a few more. Should probably bring about 2 to 3 back in. Also unfortunate that like we didn't, like there's so many like ramp value kind of things early in the curve here, and we just missed like all of them. Yeah, it was kind of an awkward game. I don't know. I'm not thrilled that we died there. I thought we were at least going to survive one more turn, so I'm a little annoyed about it, but it is an interesting commander. I do think, having now played it one time, getting the big broken stuff like Avacyn and Eldrazi is definitely a thing. It seems glassy, right? 'Cause you know what it almost feels like? It almost feels like Kaalia, right? Because so if you're running Eldrazi up here, like, you're just never going to be able to cast Eldrazi, which means you're gonna want to use things like Sneak Attack and Quicksilver Amulet and stuff like that, just to get it out of your hand. But that stuff is awkward early in the game, like really, really awkward. So there is power within this commander, I guess. Overall, this commander is not bad. Honestly, I think we just hit some... That comeuppance can't get exiled off the top. We need that card right there. If we drew that with like a scroll rack or something, then... and that's where like scrying is going to help you a lot. So, but anyway, yeah, it's a halfway decent deck, but man, Mavren and Ghalta just seems busted in half. So yeah, we got run over by the pain train, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel, vote on which decks I play next, or if you want to get some good games of Spell Table, be sure to check out my Patreon at the link below.